Hi, I'm Shannon from houseimprovements.com, and today I'm going to do this video showing you how to do plunge cuts with these four tools here. It's a question I get fairly often in comments on other videos or even in my forum. So I just thought I'd do one video that kind of covered the four main tools that most people are going to want to use to do a plunge cut. So I also have a lot of other videos on all kinds of DIY subjects, including tools and everything, so check that all out on my channel. Hit the subscribe button down below, then the bell icon to get your notifications, and of course click the thumbs up button on any video you watch. I don't even care if it's not mine. Anybody's video you watch that you like, smash that thumbs up right here, the thumbs up button. Yeah, hit it. There you go. Okay, so let's get right into it. So these are four common tools. Everybody knows what they are. Jigsaw, oscillating saw, recip saw, and a circular saw. This oscillator might be the only one that some people aren't familiar with, but you soon will be. So I'm going to come around to the other side of the table, and we're going to do a quick little sample here. So anytime you're doing a plunge cut, or any cut really, you're kind of cutting blindly. So one of the main things you want to do is make sure there's nothing under the surface that you're cutting that you don't want to cut into. Wires, plumbing, people's hands, whatever, your hands, cords. So just make sure the underside is clear. If you're working on a table like this, you can see I've clamped my material on and hung it over the table so I'm not cutting my table. You're going to need whatever safety equipment you need for the tool you're using. And I'm going to do the jigsaw first. So with the jigsaw, if I was going to cut out this, or get a cut started in this rectangular mark I have here, I want to rest the nose of the shoe of the jigsaw on my work surface, and I'm going to squeeze the trigger, which will get the blade going, and then I'm going to slowly lower the blade onto the work surface. What sometimes helps too is just extending the blade out to it's almost at its full stroke. Just gives you a bit of an idea where you're going. Okay, so I'll just simply show you what I'm doing. Okay, so you can see it's really not that difficult. Just take your time going through. The thicker the material, the more difficult it is, because once the blade gets part way in, it's kind of hitting against the edge of the cut. So you need to be aware of that. As you're getting in, you can kind of slide yourself forward if that's the case, and that'll help prevent that. So that being said, also be wary that if it hits that, the tool is going to want to tend to jump towards you usually, or away from the blade, away from the way the blade's going. So just be prepared for that. Okay, so that's jigsaw. Oscillating saw, very handy tool. Never thought I'd need one until I had one. Now I own three. So basically much the same, but there's no shoe on this tool, as you can see. So what you need to do is start the tool, get both hands firmly on it, and you're going to lower it into your material, and usually one corner at a time. Generally you don't want a plunge cut going full bore in. You want to get one edge of the blade going into it. So what else can I tell you? I think that's about it. Basically on this tool, the blade is kind of rotating like this. So just to give you an idea what the blade's kind of doing, but this is also very noisy, so we'll mute the sound down like we usually do. Now maybe because I did that direction, it wasn't that obvious, so I'll do it going this way so you can see better. Just like so. Okay, so that's the oscillating tool. Now we'll go to a little bit of heavier wood with the next two saws. You could use either one of them on that thin wood, but I'm just going to switch to this. So I've got some 7/16 OSB here, pretty common building material. Now, reciprocating saw. Kind of similar in way to a combination of both these two. You do have a shoe, but it's a lot smaller, but you still want to try to use the shoe or the nose of the sawzall, not sawzall, reciprocating saw. And you're going to kind of start it down resting here with the blade above the work surface. You're going to squeeze the trigger, get the blade going, and you're just going to lower the blade in, just like we did with the jigsaw. Now, some recip saws will have the adjustable shoe. That may or may not help you. With mine, I usually use it here, and I generally put the blade in what most people would call backwards. So the teeth are facing up to the top of the saw here instead of this way, which is kind of normal, but really you can use it either way in these saws. If I put it here, it just gets me at a little bit more of an angle where it's easier to start if I'm a little flatter. Okay? So again, I'm making sure I've got nothing underneath there that I'm going to cut into that I don't want to cut, and I'll go ahead and start. Pretty simple. Okay, same idea with the jigsaw in this one. It can have the tendency to want to jump back away from the blade if it hits something underneath there solid, so just watch for that. Circular saw. Plunge cutting, pretty easy function and something that you will do quite often once you learn how to do it. So you can set your depth of your blade to whatever depth you need for the material you're cutting. Okay. Then you're going to use the front of the shoe on this particular saw compared to the recip or the jigsaw. You're going to use the front instead of the back. And you're going to start the blade, hold the guard back out of the way, and you're going to slowly lower the turning blade into the material until it cuts right through. Now with this saw, if it catches, same thing. It's going to want to roll back at you, so you just need to be prepared for that. And then at that point, you're ready to keep cutting or whatever you're going to do. So now I've showed you how to use these 4 saws to make plunge cuts, and all of them just take a little bit of practice, and once you get comfortable doing it, you'll be using them that way all the time. I appreciate you watching, and like I said before, smash that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, please.